What's up, guys? It is Thursday, February 9th. It's 1:44 p.m. and this is the crypto newsletter. So a lot of stuff has been unfolding and between last night and today. So we need to cover it. So this is a linear Tourette, and my SEC sources tell me to be prepared for a potentially big announcement tomorrow, which is today. Could it have something to do with a Kraken settlement following a closed meeting at 2 p.m.? Could settlement terms have industry ramifications? We'll see. So we'll have to see what pans out. That's in about 16 minutes. 16 minutes. So by the time I push out this video, maybe we'll already know the answer. But definitely crazy stuff's happening. Because along with that, you have this. So what is the SEC up to? You have the commission will consider whether to propose to amend and redesignate rule under the Investment Advisors Act in 1940 related to the safeguarding of client assets. The commission will also consider proposing corresponding amendments to the investment advisor record-keeping rule in a form ADV under the Advisors Act. This could be pertaining to crypto. Then we have some other stuff. The SEC's on there ish this week. So we're hearing rumors that the SEC would like to get rid of crypto staking in the US for retail customers. I hope that's not the case, as I believe it would be a terrible path for the US if that was allowed to happen. That's Brian Armstrong, CEO of Coinbase. So they're coming from all angles right now. Shark Tank star Kevin O'Leary says most crypto tokens are worthless. They'll eventually just go to zero. Very true. There's so many cryptos out there, and 99% will go to zero and won't be there. So that's why being in these blue chips, the ones that we're in, is the key. So he said that most crypto tokens are worthless. They'll eventually drop to zero in value. He added that he now owns 7 cryptos and he's getting the same volatility he did when he owned 32 cryptos prior to the collapse of crypto exchange FTX. So if we go down here, 10,000 tokens, most of them are worthless. They'll eventually just go to zero because of lack of volatility and lack of volume. They are irrelevant. And then portfolio diversification. He added that he marked all his crypto investments down to zero when FTX filed for bankruptcy. In the interim, to bring back our allocation, we simply went into the market and bought new positions in Bitcoin, Polygon, Ethereum, HBAR, just a few, 7 positions. We went back to look at the volatility of our portfolio pre-FTX and now post-FTX. We had 32 positions on pre-FTX collapse. We now have 7. We are getting the exact same volatility with a fraction of the actual number of tickers. So you don't need to own everything to be exposed to crypto volatility. You don't need any more than 7. You're getting the same volatility. Very true. It's very true. So that gets to my point where I think what we're going to do is consolidate into our 7 kind of blue chip tokens. And we might just kind of send them back to our ledger and take a more macro look at the market at whole, because there's more stuff going on with our group session last night. We were talking about how do I spot these things in the narratives and stuff like that. So later in the video, I'll show you, because I spotted more things over after last night. So I think we're going to kind of consolidate back into some of our coins, throw them onto the ledger, and just let the dust settle here. A lot of things going on. And number one rule is to protect assets and not lose money. So that's what we're going to follow right now. That's the kind of the theme that we got to go under. And then when the dust settles, we can kind of get a little more fancy with it. But we'll talk more about that in the following video after this, where I'm going to lay out the game plan for us. So Operation Choke Point 2.0 is underway, and crypto's in its crosshairs. So this is a whole long thread, but it kind of just discusses the same things that we're kind of covering here. But uphold, don't put your online security at risk. Enable 2-factor authentication and added layer of security on all your accounts. So we're starting to see some verbiage come out saying like, hey, kind of secure your accounts because there's a lot of hacking going on. So Uphold saying that kind of goes with the narrative that I'm thinking about with a kind of global hack type of thing. Institutions absolutely interested in digital assets. BNY Mellon exec says, the head of digital assets unit at BNY Mellon, the world's largest custodian bank, has reaffirmed his bullishness on blockchain. He found 91% of its institutional clients were interested in including tokenized products in their portfolios. So those clients represented more than $1 trillion in assets under management. Then if we go down, he says, while crypto natives are looking forward to the day when all our capital markets infrastructure exists on an interoperable blockchain, the traditional institution investor community has to has to date been less sure. This study shows that minds are changing, with traditional investors ready to imagine a world where up to 1/3 of their portfolios will contain digital assets. Huge, absolutely huge. All right, so let's go to the next one. So record-breaking cryptocurrency adoption leads to the IRS releasing new reporting requirements. So more projects than ever before across the entertainment industry landscape utilize cryptocurrency to develop unique infrastructures to fund production and create a new revenue stream with varying results. If we go down here, let's see. At any time during 2022, did you receive as a reward, award, or payment for property or services, or sell, exchange, gift, or otherwise dispose of a digital asset or financial interest in a digital asset? So they're tailoring their verbiage to kind of keep up with the trend of crypto, and like when it comes to NFTs and everything like that, there's so many things that they have to track with it. So it's going to be interesting how they do that. Now let's go to this. The Fed: crypto poses key risks to banks, but carry on. 3 U.S. financial regulators do not prohibit or discourage banks from providing crypto services to their customers. This is part of that Operation Chokehold 2.0, basically. But if we go down here, banks are neither prohibited nor discouraged from providing digital asset financial services to their customers, according to a joint statement issued by the board of the Federal Reserve and 2 other government entities on Tuesday. If we go down, based on the agency's current understanding and experience to date, the agencies believe that issuing or holding as principal crypto assets that are issued, stored, or transferred on an open, public, and or decentralized network or similar system is highly likely to be inconsistent with safe and sound banking practices. So they're neither encouraging it, prohibiting it, or discouraging it. They're just outlining the risks. Now we have, after AWS deal with Ava Labs, Web3 at inflection point. That's what I'm saying. It's at that crossroads where this mainstream adoption is literally months away. Large banks, entertainment companies are looking to develop Web3 strategies, AWS Web3 head says. So we're starting to see a shift. Oh, let me go up a little bit. So a developing and deepening partnership between AWS and Ava Labs is set to assist developers trying to redefine the internet. Some need 101 level education, he said, while others are further along in their digital assets journey. We're starting to see a shift. We're at an inflection point right now where more and more people are coming in. How do you grab them and how do you simplify it? That's the golden question. So Ava Labs shifting focus. Okay, so we're seeing that partnership, and we saw that in April, there's rumors to be a big announcement from Amazon with this. But you're seeing more and more companies trying to pile into this because they see the writing on the wall. I'm going to save that. So Dubai prohibits privacy coins like Monero under new crypto rules. So the issuance of anonymity enhancing cryptos are banned under the Emirates' new regulation for digital assets. That was probably a given. There's no reason why they would want something like that. So that is definitely not out of left field there. So, but they made it pertaining to Monero before I saw Zcash, but they got rid of it. Supposedly they removed mentions of Zcash from the headline and first paragraph. It's unclear whether Zcash is affected because the regulator made exceptions for mitigating features, which theoretically could include Zcash's unshielding option. So if I were to pick a privacy coin, I'd pick Zcash over Monero 100%. Aspiring crypto banks plate shows Binance's issues are just part of the story. So yeah, this is part of that Operation Chokehold 2.0. So custodial banks membership rejection by the Federal Reserve Board is more alarming for crypto banking than the recent troubles of Binance, Juno, and Signature Bank combined. So they denied the application and they're trying to figure it out. Basically, supposedly there's like a whole government operation right now to kind of drown out the crypto industry from being able to access the traditional industry. But I don't see them winning that battle here because we're just going to see companies go overseas. And I'm sure the US doesn't want to see that happen. So we have this: into central bank money via a single account will be based on new ISO 222 standard. I think money and sending of messages is two different things. But what happened? I thought it was only messages. So this is, I guess, what's going to be happening with ISO. So from the 20th, however, in March 2023, the entire exchange of messages between and within the 3 platforms will be based exclusively on ISO 222. This allows the financial institution to control all its services related activities into central bank money via a single account. Then this is more of the narrative I'm looking at. YouTube homepage, app not working for many. And then we saw, I'm going to go ahead and assume that this is no coincidence that all social media sites went dark today, including SunTrust, aka Truist Bank, 10th by size in the US. So you're seeing kind of the narrative being built here, like tests of everything going down. So yeah, so we're definitely going to go with the route of safety and asset security over trying to accumulate more for the moment. That's definitely more important. So we see this is from 2018. We are now in year 5. Anything can happen when the SEC lawsuit is over. Game on. And who knows, it could be today. XRP is moving right now. So let's play this.
So I don't know what it is about Ripple, but there's something about it that makes people excited or freaked out or both or a little of everything. I mean, and you know, in 2017, the price of XRP was up, 32,000%. And, you know, there are reports that said that made you and other executives there billionaires, Brad. And is that right? Is that normal? Did that blow your mind? I mean, is it true? What's the bottom line there? Maybe we have a chart. We have a chart of that.
We have a price chart of XRP that we can pull up.
You can pull it up.
You know, I'll tell you the exact same thing I tell people inside the company. When I say inside the company is the exact same thing I would say outside the company. The price of XRP over 3 hours, over 3 days, over 3 weeks, or even 3 months, that is not success. That's not how I measure success. I think about success over the next 3 to 5 years. The problem we talk about, these pre-funded accounts, the liquidity that the Bank of Andy wants to park at other banks, there's over $20 trillion parked in pre-funded accounts around the world. This is dormant capital. We're solving a problem measured in the trillions of dollars. And if we can activate that asset, if we can make global commerce more efficient, there's an opportunity to drive a lot of velocity, a lot of demand, and a lot of volume across XRP. We are just at the starting line. I also said, you know, look, I think we've taken the first few steps of a marathon, but what I can also say is we've crossed the starting line of that marathon, and really no other companies in this space have.
So now, fast forward 5 years later, literally 5 years later, they're doing more than 50% of the volume is through XRP, as well as we're at the tail end of this marathon, my friend. We're here. So we're very close to full spread global XRP adoption, and the pub, like that being public as well too. It's very behind the scenes, but once we see that clarity come into the market, now Ripple can go out, Fox News, CNN, all these news channels, and make these things clear and announce them publicly. So now we have smart cities. Smart cities is determined by the UN and World Economic Forum, where citizens are tracked, monitored, and controlled, where algorithms decide your movements and a nudge behavior. They didn't ask you to vote on this societal change because they knew you'd vote no. Let's hear it.
Smart cities are no longer a thing of science fiction, but how we collect and use responsibly and sustainably is the big next hurdle. The Smart Cities Mission India joined the G20 Smart City Alliance Economic Forum to establish universal norms and guidelines for safe and responsible implementation of smart city technology.
So we're seeing all this come to light. I mean, we're so close, like as far as the timeline goes. We're in 2023, 2025. A lot of these things are going to be implemented. So we're 2 years away. So this is the start of the implementation and making it. I mean, the rise of AI just over the past month has been nuts. So everything else is going to come in full effect. R3, it is clear that the government sees DLT as a core pillar through which it can drive financial innovation. Like I said, blockchain, DLT, it's going to be the backbone of this new financial system, and they're making that clear. Now we have this. China sends spy balloons over military sites worldwide, U.S. officials say. So along with that, along with this and this, there's so many, and then the SC stuff, and then with Uphold saying to secure your stuff, like there's so many signs. So we're going to take a step back and do that. And I'm going to release that in a follow-up video today. Then this came out from the CTO of Tether tomorrow, Tether, and then Tether replying. So like there's so much stuff, like just innuendos being thrown out, kind of just coded messages. Like, what does this mean? You know? So I guess we'll find that out today. Then sounds to me like regulations are inbound, which brings on the regulated CBDC. Kramer called to buy, Barry said to sell. Looks like we're going down in the rise of the CBDC, meaning global stablecoins are reign. Let's hear it.
Access the capital and resources they need to start from selling products on an e-commerce marketplace to helping them manage payroll and track costs more efficiently. Millions of small businesses are powered by Fintech, from your local florist to your neighborhood restaurant. Financial technology helps college students purchase books or supplies for the next semester in a way that better fits their budget. It allows families to send money overseas to loved ones more quickly, safely, and cheaply, and helps all of us get our dinner delivered and have the driver paid as well in real time. These financial digital tools help people keep their money while also saving them time. According to a recent survey by the Harris Poll, 8 in 10 Americans used Fintech to manage their money in 2022, and 93% said they benefited from it. Consumers used to primarily conduct their financial business in a bank branch. Today, they expect to manage their finances on their mobile phone or via the internet. Therefore, it is critical that the statutory and regulatory framework that apply to financial services keep pace and modernize accordingly. FTA and its members believe that consumer choice, trust, and protection are the cornerstones of financial services and support efforts to modernize financial data privacy expectations and create a clear, consistent, and uniform federal privacy standard that preempts the patchwork of state privacy laws while satisfying consumer needs and expectations, safeguarding consumer data, and supporting broader societal objectives and other legal requirements. In particular, modernizing federal privacy laws like GLBA will help ensure a level playing field for all financial services participants, enhance consumer rights, and ensure that privacy and security standards fit the digital age. We appreciate Chairman McHenry, Chairman Barr, and the committee's efforts.
There we go. So now let's go to the next one. So Algorand to drive Web3 adoption in India through key partnerships. So Algorand has partnered with several educational institutions and schools to create programs for faculty members, students, and businesses looking to jump into Web3. Algorand is set in stone. They became a technology partner for a global climate resilience fund launched by the Clinton Foundation. The fund will contribute to helping local businesses connect with carbon markets and monetize carbon credits. Yeah, Algorand is definitely tied up, and they were working with Italy to support a bank and insurance guarantees platform. So Algorand is definitely one of those, say, if we're going to hold 7 coins, they're one of those must holds, I would say. So what is tokenomics, the investor's guide? Tokenomics explain why any digital asset has value. It's essential to building an investment thesis. So I guess what we'll do is I'll do a follow-up video. We're going to cover this, and then we're going to identify the top 7 or 13 must holds, long-term holds, secure those on the ledger, the Trezor, wherever it may be, and we'll identify what coins those are through this tokenomics kind of guide. And then everybody will have a good idea as to why we're holding those certain ones and securing them on our ledgers while we let the dust settle as far as all this stuff that's going on. So we'll cover that, and then we'll go over Flare in another video. I'm going to do a whole Flare deep dive. So that's going to be it for the newsletter. I want to push this out to you guys. I'm going to do a market update, and then I'll catch up on the Discord. I'll see you guys in there.